Yo guys, welcome back to the Touchliner podcast, episode 37. Just an announcement. My co-host is gone. Hussein is off the podcast. He's very busy, man. He can't fit us into his schedule, so you might see him maybe here and there, but for now he's gone. It's just me, but I'll be bringing on different people every week pretty much. It's another audio episode, by the way, but today with me, I've got Ben and Johan. How are we doing, guys?
I'm good, right? Yeah, he's so busy, I mean, Josh, you're not busy at all. You're not working 6 days a week and then on your one day off doing the touchliner. So I know, sometimes people they prioritize certain things in life, like socializing rather than doing the podcast that they committed to. But that's just my opinion. Um, you know, one of many. Johan, how are you?
I'm okay. I have no power right now, so it's fine.
Yeah, I was actually going to say, why are you so dark? And I realized, oh no, load shedding.
South Africa.
Yeah.
What a place. What a place. But it's all right, because we're going to distract ourselves from Hussein not being here. Charlie actually was meant to be here, and he's at the pub right now. So if people
just cancelled last minute.
Yeah, no, he didn't even cancel. He said he was fine, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, I'm busy. Ooh, I can't make it."
Yeah.
But anyway,
Prick.
we've got all the smart people here.
Yeah.
We're talking about a bunch of stuff.
This is a general good ball knowledge zone right here.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with
Rarely any disagreements in this group.
with this trio. So we're gonna talk about a bunch of things today. Where do we start? Well, you know what? We'll quickly just summarize the games on the weekend. Okay. So United won, which is good. So we just need a point for top four. Liverpool drew, so they're pretty much in the Europa League. Newcastle are going to play Leicester tomorrow. Ben's is for a team he supports and his dad's team. And you could send them down if you beat them. Pretty much send them down. Not mathematically, but How do you feel about that?
My dad's a whole life he's been a Leicester fan. Grew up watching them at Filbert Street. And it's a shame to see a fall from grace like this. But if it means that Newcastle can confirm Champions League tomorrow with a draw or a win, send them down. I do not care that much about them. I only care if we can keep them up, but if we can both achieve the goals. Like if they draw with us, I'm happy because we only need 1 point. So we only need 1 point to get Champions League football, and they need, I think, a win to even think about getting out of the relegation zone. They need 3 or 4 points. So if we could give them a draw tomorrow and then they win against West Ham, who actually looked really good today against who'd they play?
Leeds.
Leeds. Sam Allardyce is Leeds. Then I'm happy with that. But I actually now, after watching that game against West Ham, they're probably not going to win. I was holding out that Leicester might get a win against West Ham, but West Ham look really good. Like Declan Rice and Paqueta were just literally skilling the whole team. They were flicking the right stick too much, just running around everybody.
Yeah, Declan Rice, big move due for him this summer. And then obviously Arsenal lost to Forest. When we look back at the table in 2-3 years from now, it's not going to look like there was a title race. I was thinking about it today. United's best season under Ole, we finished 12 points behind City. Arsenal, if they lose their last game and City win their next 3, I think there's a 10-plus point gap. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, so if City win their next 2, that'll give them 94. If Arsenal lose their last game of the season, I don't know if they will, against Wolves, it's a 13-point gap.
Yeah. What I wanted to actually say to you was, speaking of how you mentioned Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I saw wait, chill out. Flipping dog.
What did Lauf do him?
Dog was just right. So when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had his season at United, in the Premier League came second, right?
Yep.
In the I always forget
Europa
you
League.
got Champions League and Europa League. Yeah. So Europa League they came runners up, right?
Yep.
And then in the FA Cup quarterfinals, and then in the League Cup semi-finals, and everyone like hounded him for saying it was a bad season
Yeah.
and that he lost too many games. And this is like from their like Man United fans and everybody else. This wasn't just like everybody else. Like it's not like Man United fans support him. Literally everyone was sort of laughing at him. But then Arteta this season, Premier League came second. The Europa League went out in the round of 16. FA Cup the fourth round, and the League Cup the third round. So who really has had the better season out of those two?
It is a very compelling point you make. Johan, what do you think about that?
And Solskjaer probably had a worse team, to be
Yeah.
fair.
Johan, you agree?
Yeah. About what? What? Arsenal bad or?
Do you agree
the-
that
the season started to be
Arsenal
better?
that maybe Arsenal had a better season, or do you think that Solskjaer was undervalued?
Are the Arsenal team overhyped, or was
Yeah,
that Man
definitely.
United team
Well, it's more from
underrated?
Arsenal fans that are overhyped. They were saying William Saliba was the best next coming of Rio Ferdinand, things like that, and it was like 3 games in, and everyone's like, "What are you talking about? Relax."
To be fair
And
though, even us on the podcast, we were like, I remember like we kept saying like 10 games in, like, oh no, like it's not going to mean anything, and then it like kept meaning something until it didn't, obviously. But we were starting to get worried, like when they were like 10 games into the season and they were top of the league. We were starting to get
Yeah.
like a little worried.
I can tell you one man who wasn't worried: Gary Neville. It was like he was
Yeah.
right. It could actually be 10 points behind.
Which is
But it was like
the
he knows
biggest
what he's.
I'm him call ever, bro. Like
Yeah.
he faced every Arsenal fan as they were hounding him down and just went, "Listen, City are just gonna overtake you. Like there's no way about it." Which is cold. It was super cold.
He did you see? He actually explained the whole scenario. He's like, it's gonna come to the run-in.
Yeah.
They're gonna overtake you, and you're just gonna keep losing, and they're gonna build it up. And when we look back, it's not even gonna look like it was close.
Which is true.
And he's
yeah.
called it.
And that's what it is. Like now, if you look back on the season, like you said, it's not even going to look like there was a title challenge. Really, it'll look like that season where Man City broke 100 points and Man United got 81 points. Like
Yeah.
that's what it looks like. It's a bummy season for everybody else.
It happens, man. It happens. Thing is, it happens. Like United fans in that season and Solskjaer season, we never got carried away. These Arsenal fans, that's their issue, man. They get so carried away. They're bigger fish to fry, all that kind of whatever. And now they're like,
What bigger fish?
I don't know what fish they're talking about. There's no fish.
No.
They're sitting in the middle of the Saudi
Acting like
desert.
they're pescatarians, man. It's outrageous talking about fish.
Now they're just
I don't know
talking
what
about
they're talking
Champions
about.
League. They're like, oh, focus on your own team. We got Champions League, or you're not even close to us. It doesn't matter. We can be 30 points behind you. We'll still get top 4. Like,
Yeah, that's the thing. If you really deep it, Johan, like, what do you think in this case? Like, because Johan brought it up earlier when we were talking in our group chat. He was like, "There's an argument to be made that Newcastle has had a better season than Arsenal."
yeah.
And if you think about it, like the difference between second and fourth is nothing because you don't win anything either. But you're both just qualifying for the Champions League. And then you'll break it down, look at who's done well in the cups. And obviously, we made it to the Carabao Cup final. They were knocked out early, Yeah. And obviously, Man United won the Carabao Cup final. So you could, if you rank it in how good the season's been, you could arguably say City, United, Newcastle, and then Arsenal.
That's not too far-fetched, That's honestly not too far-fetched.
Because they focused on the league the whole year, right? Like, even like, as you said, they like fourth round, third round, and then the round of 16. Like, they didn't put too much effort into like the domestic cups or anything like that.
No.
So,
But you can't do that in football. You can't. That's the reason why City are up for the treble. You compete in every competition until you get knocked out. This whole thing about managers just sack off the League Cup. No one really does that. Like, good managers really don't. They keep going until they lose. But
Yeah,
That's Arsenal, man. They've Arsenal. You know they say, "Oh, Spursy." They've Spursed it up.
they
Ars-
have
they've
Arsenal
they've
this so
Arsenaled it
much.
up. Like
Yeah,
it's something in the water in North London. But speaking of
something in the water.
Not Arsenal, sorry, of Spurs. Spurs lost to Brentford, 3-1.
Yeah,
Are you shocked?
that's rough.
I'm not
What? 3-1. Who scored the goal for Tottenham?
shocked. Oh,
I wonder.
I don't know who was it. A 30-yard screamer into the top corner.
Was it Richarlison?
I don't think so.
Oh no. Oh, Johan's
He's
gone.
back. He's back.
Where's he gone?
He's
He's
back.
having data issues.
You know what I do remember though from the World Cup that Hussein said? I actually forgot about this about Richarlison. He was like, "This is what." Okay, this is exactly how he did it. Ready? This is what Richarlison can do. All of you are acting too soon on Richarlison. All right, and you saw that goal.
Jeez.
You saw that goal, bro. You know what? When you actually think about it, he sounds like young Kipper. What?
Yeah. Why are people saying that Richarlison is not the best striker in the Premier League? Did you see the goal he scored in the World Cup?
He's been a flop. The Spurs have been a flop now. Spurs are there now, 7th, I think. If that nope, they're
Eighth,
8th.
actually.
8th, thank you. 8th actually.
Jeez.
And Villa are favourites to get that Conference League spot. Surely Kane leaves this summer, right? I don't see him.
You gotta think it, right? Like for the rest of his career. So like, Spurs next season, I don't know like what position they're gonna be in. Whether they who have they got as manager? Like who can they
I don't know who they're
shortlist
getting
now?
in. I don't know who they're getting in.
I thought Pochettino would go back to him, but obviously he's going to Chelsea, so
It's going to be interesting to
I
see.
don't know.
I don't know who they're going to get. They might get a
Ole
European.
Gunnar Solskjaer.
I hope Solskjaer doesn't. He's better than that.
Yeah.
But
Besides that, I think they are a little bit washed, to say the least.
Kane,
Yeah.
listen, we'll welcome you with open arms here. You just move up. Manchester, it's basically London. It's just a bit further north. Your family will love it. It's sunny actually right now, so just come through. We'll give you the number 9 shirt because we're getting rid of our mannequin that wears it. Okay.
Better atmosphere, more trophies, better players around you.
Exactly. Come on.
More history.
Be part of the team. But I think he should do that for his career. So that's pretty much all the games, more or less. I mean, the
games
relegation
that we care about.
The relegation battle is going to be interesting coming into the final week because any one of Leeds, Leicester, or Everton could go down. Forest obviously secured safety, which is good for them.
Yeah.
Which is this is the conversation, right? You said that Leicester have a better 11 than Nottingham Forest. Do you actually believe that?
They do. I actually looked at the stats. So, all right. So, first of all, it's fair to say that Nottingham Forest's defense trumps Leicester's defense.
Yeah.
Like, if you have Christensen at left, like honestly, I don't even think Christensen's that bad when I watch him. Luke Thomas doesn't start for me. Baz has been dreadful. Soyuncu, though, you could argue Soyuncu's not too bad. He's just signed for Atletico Madrid. So you could argue
I think he's all right. I think he just checked out. He just checked out.
Yeah. And then right back, Pereira. Pereira's not a bad player at all, but he's just not been playing for a lot of this season.
I'll give you. I think Pereira is probably the only one. Apart from that, like Forest player 5, but they've got Felipe, who they got from Atletico Madrid. They got Niakate, who's pretty good. They got Lodi, who they have on loan from Atletico Madrid. So I mean, yeah, I think Forest and Navas in goal. So I think Forest
and Navas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but then you start making your way into the midfield, and you start thinking, oh, James Maddison, Yuri Tielemans. James Maddison, you're not going to be able to compete with. Obviously, Tielemans is a bit of a debate there, but I still think, like when you watch some of Tielemans' goals, you just think, oh, this guy has world class ability in him. No matter about his work rate or anything like that. So, and like for example, you were talking about that striker. I know.
I won you.
Yeah. So, Iheanacho, who's barely played this season, has 8 goals and 5 assists. He only what's his name?
A 1 year.
Iwonyi. That guy
Yes.
has 10 goals and 1 assist. So like even though and Iheanacho has like 400 less minutes played this season than him. So I honestly rate Iheanacho over. I rate Iheanacho as in general. Like he's not
Yeah, he's a good
like
player.
great, but in a system like I think he is better in a system that builds up a bit slowly. And Leicester sort of kind of struggle to maintain possession sometimes. In a system where he has like time to build up, he can do a lot better. But like yeah, I think that in general, you can say that, if we look at Leicester's squad as a whole, let me just get the squad up. Leicester squad. Jamie Vardy, Madison Soyuncu, who's just moved to Madrid. Harry Sutar, he played in the World
He's
Cup
he's
for
he's all right. Yeah.
Australia. Tielemans, Iheanacho, Tete, he's okay. Patson Daka was at Leipzig. He's all right. Good backup striker, I guess. Harvey Barnes, forgot to mention him. Who do you take, Lingard or Harvey Barnes?
Lingard doesn't play that. I wouldn't count Lingard. I'd say Gibbs White or Danilo. Those are like the two. Or
Gibbs White is
actually, no,
good.
Brennan Johnson. Actually, he's pacey. He's got mad
Shrewsbury
pace.
Hall, Wilfred Ndidi. Forgot about him. He slipped under the rug, actually.
Yeah, but he's fallen though. He last season or the
Yeah.
season before he was sick, but this season I don't know what's happened to him.
He's fallen a bit off. But yeah, just a few players in there that sort of slip under the rug. But yeah, overall, I'd say Leicester's better.
I'd
It's
say
more in the defense for Forest.
I'd say
but
the
then going
defense for
forward.
Forest, but Gibbs White this season.
Yeah, if you're looking at this season, it's a little bit tougher because obviously they've had a really bad
Yeah.
season.
No, because
But,
Madison's
like,
good.
in general,
But Gibbs White, I didn't know he was good. Like, I watched him against Arsenal and I was like, he's got strength, he's got pace, he can dribble, he got the assist for the goal. I was like, I see why they paid the money for him. He's just inconsistent. Clearly, he's one of those players that's hit and miss. But in like a counter-attacking team, like if he played for Newcastle, if he played for United, he would be so good. Like if we want to replace Bruno Fernandes, genuinely, I'd be looking at him. Like he looks like he could be. He could be.
Premier League proven.
Yeah, he looks like he's at that level. But I like Iwonyi as well more than Iheanacho because Iheanacho, I'm indifferent. I rate them both. I think they're decent strikers. But Iwonyi,
He came through with 4 goals in a row in the FA Cup.
yeah, no, that's the thing. He's a good striker, but Iwonyi had mad strength. He's bullying Gabriel, and I know Charlie was like, "Oh, it's not hard." It is. His Arsenal's.
Screw him, right? We're not talking about Charlie.
He was bullying him. Like he elbowed him in the first half and got a yellow card, but he's like he knew he was there. The rest of the game, Gabriel was scared of him. I don't know. I just like that about him. But I think up front, yeah, if you're going not just season, Leicester.
Fair points for both. Yeah, but also not this season.
Yeah.
You've got Jamie Vardy as well.
Huh.
Like, think of how good Jamie Vardy's been, like, outside of this season.
True.
He's last season probably a bit iffy as well. But okay, I'm gonna test. I'm gonna have a little ball knowledge test now.
All right.
Okay. So I've got a list of players, and it's who would you rather have in your team? Okay, we'll see what you say. Okay, so I'm going to start with Johan. Would you rather have Bruno Fernandes or Odegaard?
Bruno Fernandes.
Joshua?
These questions, by the way, the context, is it for United or just my own team? Like,
who do you think is like better? Let's say that. We'll say who do because that's I'm assuming what the question is phrased as.
Bruno Fernandes.
I'd say Bruno Fernandes as well. Maybe Odegaard will be better, but right now, Bruno Fernandes. He's got the most chances created in the Premier League, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Grealish or Mitoma? I actually stated in our group chat that Mitoma is a better player than Grealish and could fit into that Man City team a lot better.
That's crazy to me. That is crazy to me. It's too early to say that. I am saying Grealish every day. Every day, Grealish.
Yeah.
Every day.
Johan?
Johan?
Probably at Greenish. But don't they done it one season? 1.5, because basically, half of the season people noticed him. And Grealish has done it with Aston Villa and now City.
That is true.
Grealish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just don't like Grealish. Well, that's not true. When I watch Grealish, I'm not blown away. But sometimes when you watch a player and he just like, I'm just like, how did he beat that man, or how did he put that ball in? I'm just like, I just don't think that Grealish, like when he was at Villa, he was like a little like star boy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But like, obviously everyone is great at City, but like he doesn't really stand out a lot anymore. Do you remember in the Euros when everyone was like, "Oh, bring on Jack Grealish, he's going to make such a difference," and he like did nothing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember that.
You can blame that on Southgate, but like also, like you sort of dealt with the cards that you're given, and he didn't really do much.
No, I remember that. Yeah, I understand that. I honestly, I'd like Matoma. Like for this United side, I'd pick Matoma, but I just prefer Grealish.
Okay. Emi Martinez or Raya?
Martinez. I think I go Martinez.
Pretty
What do you say,
easy,
Johan?
that one.
Johan said Raya.
Yeah, Martinez.
Oh, Martinez.
No,
Yeah.
Martinez.
Yeah, it's pretty easy, that one, I think. Maddison or McAllister? That's a tough one.
McAllister.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm in two minds about this one.
But they're not the same position anyway.
No.
They're obviously both. Well, Maddison's not really like a box-to-box midfielder. Madison is a little lazier.
McAllister can play 10 though, and he's good there. But
he's more of a deep
he
lying,
mostly
like a
He's more of a
8.
Yeah, he mostly plays an 8. But yeah, McAllister.
Take that World Cup tax, man. That's World Cup tax.
It honestly is, man.
No,
he's won the World Cup, but he's also good. Like, we're linked with him this summer, and I want him. He's good. Madison, I'm not too sure. After seeing,
He's not going to go United. He's going to Liverpool.
I rate Madison. Yeah, he can go to Liverpool. His attitude in the past few games, like I remember I watched that Leicester game. I can't remember who they're playing, but it was when I was on holiday. His demeanor.
Who, Maddison?
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about McAllister's going to go to Liverpool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But you are right. Madison's attitude stinks.
I don't want him. After saying that,
he doesn't
I don't want
work.
him. I don't want him. I want McAllister, but yeah, if he goes to Liverpool, fine. Then I hate McAllister. Then I pick Madison.
He's already signed out, like mentally. He already knows it, and I think there's a clause I heard that if he gets relegated, he can be purchased for 20 million. So he could go anywhere. He could go to Forest if nobody else wanted him.
He literally could, Madison. But I think one of the bigger clubs, Arsenal, maybe might gamble on him. You never know.
Arsenal, Madison, and Odegaard. Please,
I think Tottenham.
Ooh, Tottenham makes sense. That does make sense.
Yeah, Tottenham could work. All right,
especially if they sell Harry Kane.
True.
Yeah, they get. How much do they get for Harry Kane? Probably
100
million,
minimum.
right?
Minimum. Like I think upwards of 100 is what they want. But
Especially with English tax.
They're just gonna blow it all. Like when they sold Bale, they signed Soldado.
You're paying for the best English striker in the world, and like Grealish is not the best English winger in the world, and he was going for 100 million.
Yeah.
Back then.
But Kane's only got a year left on his contract. Grealish had like 4 or 5 years.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. And I think there is some unrest over in the club, so you could probably go for a bit less.
True.
All right. Bruno Guimaraes or Caicedo?
Ask Johan first. Johan, Guimaraes or Caicedo?
For what team? Was it for my team or?
No, like who do you think is better?
Yeah, so your team, like who would you prefer? Like if you're like, okay, that's my defensive midfielder. Who do you want?
My defensive midfielder, Caicedo.
But Bruno's more box to box.
That's what I'm saying. You said defensive midfielder. I would rather have Caicedo.
I think
but
that
maybe-
Bruno is much better out of those two.
No,
Bearing in
it's-
mind, to be fair, Caicedo is a bit more dynamic. He can play. He played at left back against us, so so he was out of position there, and he had an okay game. But from what I've seen, and obviously you saw the impact running up to the Carabao Cup. There was all those stats about how much Newcastle had won with and without Bruno playing.
No, he's one of the best midfielders in the league, so I think for that I'll go with Guimaraes.
Think you've got to go with Guimaraes there. Gavi or Camavinga? Camavinga all day.
I was gonna go with whoever the second one was. I don't rate this Gavi.
Gavi?
What?
Oh, Gavi.
Why?
Why is
I just think he's very good.
Yeah, but Camavinga.
I think Camavinga's good, but I watched him against City. He struggled a bit. He gave a ball away a few times, and he's won everything. It's good, but I'd rather have Gavi.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think there's more upside with Gavi than Camavinga.
Are they both 20, right?
I think Gavi might be younger.
Gavi's younger, I think.
Yeah, Gavi. I'd go Camavinga. Like you say that game against City, but last season against City, he won them that tie. So
even the first leg against City,
I think the whole team imploded in that second leg, which we'll move on to later. Yeah. But I think I'll go with Camavinga for sure.
Musiala or Pedri?
Musiala.
Musiala's insane.
I've never underrated or not rated a Barcelona side as much as I do now. I look at that team and I'm like, maybe it's because we beat them. I don't know, but I look at the team. I'm like, none of you are good.
I don't rate it that much either.
I don't think they're that
I don't rate it that much. I'm surprised they've won the league over that Real Madrid side, because that Real Madrid side is outrageous.
They're inconsistent, and they were focusing on the Champions League, bigger fish to fry and all that. They won the cup though, at least. Arsenal fans.
Yeah. I've got Dalot or Wan-Bissaka.
Wait, Johan, did you say Musiala?
Yeah, Musiala. Yeah. I love him.
Yeah.
Clear.
Dalot, Wan-Bissaka.
Dalot or Wan-Bissaka. Pretty easy.
For what? They're both equally shit.
Nah, I'll give it Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, but who's less shit?
Wan-Bissaka.
I think probably Wan-Bissaka.
I still don't like any of them.
Got to pick, Johan.
Listen.
None.
Yeah. You gotta pick one.
I have Lindelof. Lindelof right back. There you go.
Lindelof.
No, come on. You gotta
That's even worse.
Lindelof right back.
Johan, in that FA Cup final, right? If Wan-Bissaka, you stick him on Grealish and he just shuts him up the whole game, we win 1-0, right? You're telling me that in that scenario, would you have him or Dalot in that situation?
Well, it's against City. I'd rather have a defensive right back, so Wan-Bissaka. But overall, if you want to compete with City for Premier League, not Wan-Bissaka or Dalot.
All right, so Wan-Bissaka. You said you'd pick Wan-Bissaka.
I
pick Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, if you're playing defensive, because that's all he's good at. One defending, that's it.
No,
his back post
sometimes
doesn't know what that is. He doesn't know what the person behind him ever is.
It is true.
He never sees them.
If the ball comes off the ground, he can't defend. But attacking wise, he's improved. He's doing little skills. I see his step overs.
No, he doesn't even know what he's doing. He's stepping over the ball, passing the ball, missing the ball.
This is what I think.
It's like Arian.
He looks clumsy.
It's like Arian when we used to play football at lunchtime.
He looks so clumsy when he's dribbling the ball. Like, it looks like he's accidentally getting past players.
I think he is clumsy. And then defenders get confused about how clumsy this guy is. A professional from Man United. Look at him like, what? And then he gets past them. Because they're confused.
One-on-one, he's extremely good.
Yeah,
he's possibly the best defender one-on-one in the league.
Yeah.
But outside of that, he's so very, very bang average. And it depends. Do you want a really, really good one-on-one defender and a bang average everything else, or just an average player?
Yeah.
I'll go Wan-Bissaka, 100%.
I'd take Wan-Bissaka, to be fair.
I'll take none of them.
This one's interesting because I've seen a lot of controversy actually on online about Ivan Toney or Isak Alexander.
Ivan Toney.
That's so poor.
I'm just kidding. I'm trying to think.
No, I'd have Ivan Tony though. He's actually good. But
Callum
I'd have
Wilson.
Ivan Toney.
Callum Wilson is better than Ivan Tony.
Relax.
No,
Wait,
he
no,
is.
you were bashing him
I-
just 2 weeks ago.
I know. I have a lot of hate. I have a lot of hate for Callum Wilson. Not a lot of hate, like I hate him, but like sometimes I watch him play and I think you're just like not as good as the amount of goals you're scoring makes you out to be. But like as a striker, like your job is to put goals in the back of the net, and if you're second behind Haaland for your conversion rate in the league, like you can't really argue against it. And Ivan Tony's, I think he's 10th on that list. Like,
yeah, he shoots a lot. He's the
it's
only striker. He's the one outlet for them. But the thing is with Isaac is his dribbling is insane. He's very good at dribbling. His finishing is good, but he hasn't shown anything apart from finishes in the box. Ivan Toney can take free kicks. He scored long shots. He's amazing at penalties. But I'd love either of these players. But I'd pick Tony, I think, thinking about it. And plus, Isaac's raw. I'm not raw, but he's really young. Like, you got to give him time.
yeah, but also like you got to think that who's the better player for the future as well. If it's for the future, it's undoubtedly
Yeah,
Isaac,
yeah, Isaac.
right?
I mean,
Like, you would
the
pick Isaac
future,
every
Tony's
day.
not playing until 2024, so.
Yeah,
That's clapping.
I think. Let me just quickly double check if I'm correct. I think Callum Wilson might have more goals in him this year as well in all comps.
No, he's got less. Ivan Tony's got 20. Callum Wilson's got 18.
They're all comps, or is that just
Oh.
Premier League?
That's
All
Premier
comps,
League.
18 goals in the Premier League. It only says the EFL Cup, but I'm sure he scored early in the FA Cup as well. I don't remember. Callum Wilson definitely has more than 20 goals in all comps because I saw a stat for it a while ago.
Yeah.
This isn't. But yeah, I'm obviously going to take Alexander Isak. I don't even think it's a question, to be honest.
Callum Wilson has no other goals in any other competitions.
Ooh.
I know. I'm looking for it now. It's not showing up. Maybe
Yeah,
the stat I saw was wrong.
He didn't have any appearance in the FA Cup, and the EFL Cup he has 0 as well.
Like
With
he's
5
injured.
Maybe they included pre-season.
And Ivan Toney has 1 other goal in the EFL Cup, but he only made 2 appearances, and none in the FA Cup.
The stat man Johan. Well, there you go.
Yeah, well, okay, I got one more.
Oh,
as
he
well.
must have counted England in the World Cup, Ben, because he scored in the World Cup.
That's what I was just going to say.
Yeah.
He scored 1 in the World Cup.
What? How many did you score? 1?
Yeah, 1.
Yeah, just 1.
I think Toad. Yeah,
So he's 19.
He assisted Rashford.
Also,
okay,
I mean,
Shaw.
yeah, okay.
Shaw or Robertson?
But they're both left backs, yeah.
Luke Shaw.
Wow.
Luke Shaw. The thing is, Luke Shaw, right? Because he can't defend, yes, but he makes up for it with how creative he is in attack. So I'll go Luke Shaw.
No, his first touch is insane.
He doesn't really make up for it.
He's
he's all right going forward.
No, the thing is, he creates chances too.
Luke Shaw is not a baller. Give over. He's not a baller. He's a good left back, but he's not a baller.
No, but have you seen
You're
his
making
first
him
touch?
out like he's I don't give a fuck about his first touch.
No, with his goal against Bournemouth.
Dan Burns got a good first touch
No,
as
but
well.
it's Luke Shaw. That goal against Bournemouth. He picks the ball up near his box. He gives it off. He carries it to the halfway line, dishes it out, runs into the box, and scores with his right foot. He's very good at football. He's just doesn't know how to defend, unfortunately, which kind of costs us in certain
He's
games.
a defender. That's his job.
It's his
And if you
job.
put him in a system where he has to go forward, there's so many better options than him going forward. Like if you're having, yeah, but also if you have him as a wing back, like who's going forward in a 3 at the back, you'd probably say that there's better players out there in a wing back position who goes forward.
Name him.
If you're playing 4 at the back, then going forward, Theo Hernandez.
What?
Yeah.
You Camavinga.
Again, he's not a
No,
left
how are you
back.
playing a
Again,
left
he's
back?
not a left back. He's a midfielder.
Yeah, but he's playing left back.
Yeah, but he's
But
not.
better than Luke Shaw.
He's
at
not
left
better
back.
than Luke Shaw. No, he's not. He's not.
You think that if Camavinga is not as good as Luke Shaw at left back?
Obviously
I think
not.
Luke Shaw. I think Luke Shaw is fucking overrated by Man United fans. You've just like who have you got else there? You've got nobody else to slot in, so he plays every
Malacia's
game.
right.
Malacia he just tries hard.
Malacia's shit. Like,
Listen,
get over.
He tries. You know, he tries. I don't think Shaw's like.
So did the Special Olympic kids.
No,
man.
but
Like,
no,
it
I don't
doesn't
think
mean they're
Shaw's-
any good.
The best.
He's not the best,
I
but
think
he's
he's overrated.
he's very good. Like I don't think he's like amazing, but
You know what? He might be the best left back in the league, but that doesn't mean that he's really good. That just shows there's a drought of good left backs in the Premier League.
Huh?
Johan says maybe.
I
It's
think he's a good player. I don't think he's bad.
I don't know
think,
why he was
Ben
such a
Chi-
Robertson
Ben Chilwell
anyway.
on
I
his
don't know why
day?
he comp-
No,
No.
no. I'd say
think
yeah,
so?
Shaw over Robertson though. I think it's. I'd be very.
You guys love it. I'll have Robertson. He's love his shit house.
I'd have Robertson. Yeah, I was gonna say if he plays for Newcastle, like I'll take the shit house.
I
I think
hate him
it's
so much. But yeah, I mean, if he did play for United, I'd be like, yeah, okay.
can't
Plus, they got
really-
him for what, 3 mil or something? Stupid.
Oh yeah.
They got him for 3 mil.
Yeah, they bought him
Yeah,
off
he's
Hull.
relegated from Hull.
Yeah, him and Maguire was
We got
lacing
Hull.
up together.
Sure for world record for a teenager, and he's
30.
only come good 8 years in.
Yeah, it took a while.
Gee.
It took him ages, man. I was gonna.
Who would you?
What?
Go ahead, Josh.
No. I was
No,
gonna
no.
move on. No, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say Callum Wilson or Rashford this season.
Oh, Rashford's a winger. You can't compare them.
Why?
Doesn't matter.
Yes,
No,
it
because
does.
he plays as a forward. He
Well,
plays
he's
as a
left
forward.
Callum Wilson's a striker.
He's your main man. No, but he's your main man going forward. You need to stop this like thing about Rashford's a winger because realistically he is a winger, but he's your main guy going forward.
Yes, he
he's
is.
Your
Yeah, but
centre
then
piece.
But when
He's
we
the guy who scores
when we
goals
go
for you.
forwards, he's not in the box. He's on the touchline waiting to get the ball. When you go forwards, Wilson is running into the box. That's the difference.
Yeah, but that's the way you're set up. Player, you've
So why are you
also
comparing?
No,
played.
compare Wilson to Weghorst then,
You've
because
also
Weghorst
played.
is our striker. Like Rashford's not a striker.
Or Martial.
Callum Wilson's had a better season than both of them.
All right, if you want to say who's had the
Huh?
better season, then you could. Then I'll be like, all right, who had the
No.
better season? I still think Rashford
Well,
had
they're
the better
both in the
season.
same England squad, right?
Rashford
They're
sit
both in the same
okay,
England squad.
hypothetically.
No.
Rashford-
World Cup. Well, they're both in the same England squad, right?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Wilson scored what? 1 goal.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And Rashford scored how many?
Is it four?
3.
Three, four?
Right?
3, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
he scored
Yeah.
three.
But also
Well, this
Rashford
game's
started. Rashford started more games.
One
than
Started
game.
Wilson.
one game.
2 games. No,
Yeah, but
they're
also
probably-
he came on more times than Wilson. If we're not talking about starts,
Okay.
he came on. He
Happy
came on
exchange,
3 or
yeah.
4
Gotcha.
times.
He's okay. Rashford 29.
And also, if
29 goals in
if
all
we're talking
comps.
about being on the left
Rashford's
wing,
25 years old, right? Cool. So
if we're
Wilson is
talking about being on
31.
that, okay, I don't know what that has to do with it, but if we're talking about being on the
Nah,
left
what do you
wing
mean?
and
He's
not being
in
in
the
the same
twilight of his-
position, Josh, we're talking about being on left wing and not being on the same position. Surely, being as a left winger and not a forward, then he should be getting more assists than Wilson. Whereas Wilson has 5 assists and
Rashford's got
Rashford has
more.
4.
Oh, he's got 4.
No, he
Okay,
doesn't.
in all comps, he's got more. He's on double figures.
Yeah, but we're
He's on
talking about the
double
Premier League.
figures. He is on double
You were
figures.
in. You were in one more competition than us this year. To be clear.
Okay, but that's the thing. It's
Barcelona.
yeah, against Barcelona he scores. He scored like
I mean, you
Rashford.
can't get...
How are you gonna say Wilson's got a better season than Rashford? How are you saying this to me right now?
He has. He has more goals and more assists
He doesn't have more goals.
as a striker. He does.
League goals.
Rashford has
You're
16
talking about
goals.
just the league. I'm talking
Yeah.
about all comps.
I said Premier League season. Because Rashford's played in more competitions than Wilson has. I wouldn't say better year. I said better season.
In the Premier League, you didn't say that.
In the Premier League.
Oh, obviously the Premier
If
League.
you,
not
okay,
the
if you
Liga.
want to go off numbers,
You didn't say that.
you can if you want to say Wilson had a better season, but Rashford has been more clutch and more important.
Would you say
for us.
Wilson is your your player of the year?
For impact on the
Okay.
team, probably has
Okay.
to be. He probably has to be. Like,
He's
I
only
wouldn't
been
pick
good
him,
for a
but
month.
you
How
have
in
to
the
say
space
that.
of 2 weeks you've gone from Wilson sucks, yeah, like Isaac Clare to
I don't
even
think
a better
I
season
don't
than
like
Rashford.
him. He's not my striker. I would rather have Isaac playing, but numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie.
He's a striker, man. That's like saying Ivan's.
And also, if we're talking about purple patch Rashford, he's only come through good the second half of the season after the World Cup. Which you could say the same about Wilson for. He's been good post World Cup.
Wilson.
Actually, Wilson's been more consistent all season than Rashford.
Has
You're injured, yeah. You're consistently injured.
I just can't believe you're saying that. Rashford has had a very good season. He's up for Team of the Year. Wilson's not. He's up
Okay, I
for
wouldn't
Player
say
of the
that.
Year. Wilson is not.
Why is he up for Team of the Year when he's not, like, by his standards? He's not had that good of a season. He's had a pretty average
It's
season.
been his best season. What are you talking? Rashford's. It's been his best season.
Rashford has the ability to score like 20 plus goals a season, but he doesn't, right? And
What do you mean he doesn't? He's done it 3 times in his career. What? Or 4?
If we're if you
Yeah,
just
but-
want to stick to the league, it's still 16 goals from a winger. 16 goals from a winger.
No, I don't like. I'm so sick of this. Like, he's a winger.
No,
like,
but
he's
it
not a
makes
He's not a
sense.
standard. He's not a standard winger. He doesn't play like a standard left winger. He's your focal point of a team. Do you get what I mean?
He's not. Fernandes is the focal point. That's where you're wrong. Fernandes is the focal point.
No, I don't mean like okay, well, Bruno's our focal point, but I'm talking about who's scoring goals and making an impact on the game.
Yeah.
It's Rashford. It's not Anthony or Weghorst, is it?
No, it's
and
not.
Ten Hag hasn't said get the ball to Weghorst and get him to score. Like, I'm just saying,
know, man.
you know.
Wilson is no.
Just saying.
That's crazy. No, I disagree.
Stats don't lie. Numbers don't lie.
Mate, numbers.
Premier League team of the season. Premier League team of the season should be about how good they've done in the Premier League. And statistically, Wilson's done better. So,
All right.
up for Tots or no?
Okay.
Why not?
Okay.
EA Sports.
All right. Who's better then, in your opinion? Is it Martinelli or Saka?
Saka.
All right. Martinelli's got 15 goals. Saka 13. So why isn't Martinelli better than Saka? Why hasn't he had a better season?
Purple patch.
How are we not calling the Wilson right now, the past 3 or 4 weeks, a purple patch then? Because that's what's happened.
He's been consistent all season. Also, Rashford's had a purple patch. He's only come through post World Cup.
Consistent all season. He's
Yeah,
not.
He's been
there's-
scoring goals all season.
Nothing in the first half at all. He's injured, and then he comes on, he plays, he scores occasionally. It's only the last, I'll show you, the last few weeks he's done that, which is crazy. I give it to him.
Like I said earlier, conversion rate is very important for going for a forward.
Because he's a
for
number.
focal point
I
of
can't
the
believe
team.
you're ignoring the whole thing that Rashford doesn't play as a 9. In the games where he does play as a number 9, he scores. Against Palace, he scored. Against City, he scored. Against Barcelona, he scored.
I was going to say, if you play Rashford at 9, I think he's probably better at 9 than he is on the wing. Honestly, if you have a better winger, if you have a good left winger, like, I don't know, you sign I can't think of a left winger off the top of my head, like
Mitoma,
someone like that.
yeah.
Mitoma or someone like that. Yeah, if you sign an unselfish left winger, not like another Anthony. If you sign another left winger, put Rashford in the middle, Rashford definitely bags 20, 25 plus goals a season, I think. He
will, but the thing is, he's good at dribbling. So I'd rather get a good striker, because last time he had a good striker, when he had Martial in form, they both scored 20 plus goals in all comps. So it can happen. But yeah, fair. I think Wilson's had a good season, but to say that is crazy.
What, that he's had a better season?
Yeah, because he hasn't.
Yes.
Fair enough. I respect your opinions.
I hate you. All right. So we wanted to talk actually. So the answer is clear, but you asked in the group who's better, Salah or Rashford. We all said Salah, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think he's a better player.
yeah, pretty clear.
Did you know, right? Salah this season, he's missed 2 penalties, 2 crucial penalties. If he scored even one of these, Liverpool would probably be in the top 4 right now. So he missed against Arsenal. Which fair enough. I could have gone either way. Even I remember the end of that game, there could have been a goal either way. And against Bournemouth, and they were losing 1-0, there was a penalty there. So there were certain Liverpool fans. I think they're just kids. They're just like, oh, this is our star player. Yeah, he cost us the season.
No, that's so cringe. He's got more goals
I
and
think he's
assists
carried
than.
them.
You think it's what?
Yeah, what?
I think he's carried them. Him and Allison has
Yeah.
carried that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd agree with that.
Alisson
And
for
also,
sure,
he's
yeah.
not even had like his normal, like he's not playing to his top ability right this season as well. He's got a lot of it. I think he's got his most assists he's ever had in one. Actually, no, sorry, he's got 2 less assists than his top assisting season. And goal wise, obviously in that 17-18 season, he scored 32 goals. He's on 19 this year, which still isn't bad for a winger.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Salah is like I don't know. I think people sleep on how good Salah is, annoyingly, because he is like an annoying player, and he obviously dives a lot, and he's ratty. But can't really ignore the fact that for the past, listen to this. This year, 19 goals, 11 assists. Last year, 23 goals, 13 assists. Year before that, 22 goals, 5 assists. Year before that, 19 goals, 10 assists. The year before that, 22 goals, 8 assists. The year before that, 32 goals and 10 assists. I don't think you've ever seen a consistency like that in the past few years. That's crazy.
I don't classify as a winger, because if you see how Liverpool line up, he's an inverted winger. In the sense of, like, you know, when they had him and Mane and Firmino, because Firmino was a false 9, it would almost look like a 4-3-1-2 when they played. So they'd.
You know where most of Mo Salah's goals come from?
Cutting in
the right hand side.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Because he's a winger, and that's where it comes from. So you can't say that and then not say that about Rashford.
You will never ever see Salah. You'll never see Salah on the touchline. Touchline. Rashford is on the touchline. He's there waiting to skill some guy. Salah is on the edge of the box, waiting to get the ball, and Trent occupies that side. It's a completely different team. But that's how he scores his goals, and I don't follow him for it. I think he's still one of the best attackers in the world, but he's a different player. The whole Liverpool team is like kind of put around him, which I think is wrong. They have to move on.
I don't think they. I think Liverpool have a bigger problems, to be honest. They need to get rid of Klopp. I think.
Klopp still.
I'm still saying get Klopp out. It's time for something new. I think.
Who do they bring in? Nagelsmann.
Nagelsmann, I think, makes sense.
But thing is, can that manager adapt to a different league that's so different to the league he's been succeeding in?
I mean, Klopp did
sort
it.
of like the kind of same. Yeah, but it's sort of like the same thing when a player comes from a different league and the playing style is so different. The managing side is so much different as well, because tactically it's so much.
Yeah,
you know.
I think I do rate Nagelsmann. I think he's
like obviously Tuchel's gone over there now and he's struggling.
Yeah, you see, but he's picked up a side that just he needs to clear that side out. Like, I think Muller's done. Kimmich wants to go to Barcelona. That whole team just needs to be done from top to bottom, I think. And now Dortmund might win the league. They've got 1 game left. Dortmund are 2 points clear. For the first time in I don't know how many years, Dortmund might win the Bundesliga.
11.
Yeah,
I hope
11.
so.
There you go. I hope they win. I like Dortmund. Park Joo-ho, the back.
Shout out to Park Joo-ho. Where's that? Let's see where Park Joo-ho plays.
I think he probably plays back in I can't remember.
Korea.
Korea, yeah. Also, do we
He
think
plays
do we think Haaland's had the greatest Premier League season ever, though?
No.
Suwon FC, the greatest Premier League player ever.
Season.
No, Premier season. No.
So who's been better, Johan?
Ronaldo?
Yeah.
08.
Yeah.
07, 08.
I'd say that.
How many goals? How many assists?
He
But,
got 31.
was he playing up front or was he playing on the wing?
It was a wing. Right wing.
No, he's playing up
sorry.
front. Remember, Rooney played on the wing in that season.
No, it wasn't like a 4-4-2 or something stupid.
Yeah, it'd be a 4-4-2, wouldn't it? The thing is, Rooney was always... That team was so fluid. Rooney would just run wherever Ronaldo wasn't and just cover him. So I'd say Ronaldo played up front in that season.
You don't think Rooney was better than Ronaldo?
In one season, no. I think that 2008 season was amazing. Ronaldo won the Ballon d'Or that year. That's how good he was.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but Haaland's going to win Ballon d'Or this year.
Yeah. But the
No,
thing...
he's not.
Yeah, he will. Who's
Yeah,
going to
he
win it
is.
instead? Messi.
Probably Mbappe. Depends on what. This year, the whole of this year, right?
Yeah.
Depends on what he wins. If Mbappe goes and does something insane,
No, but what's he going
No,
to do,
it's
though?
He
not.
might
The
win.
season's over.
or
Yeah.
Messi might win it because Messi's got the World Cup tax.
No, if they give it to Messi, that'd be crazy.
Because the thing is,
that'd be
City,
the biggest.
if City win the treble, Haaland's going to get it. That's it. Like,
Yeah, and they will win the treble. They're going to beat Man United in the FA Cup final pretty easily, I think. And they're resting their whole team right now. They don't need to play in any more league games. So for these next 2 or 3 games that they have to play, they can send out the B team or the C team. And then when it comes to the Champions League final and the FA Cup final, they can then throw out their started players fully rested for like 2 weeks.
it's true. That's how strong that team is. But they today against Chelsea to win 1-0. How disrespectful it is to play players that the squad numbers are over, like the 80, 82. How
my
disrespectful
God,
is
yeah.
that?
I didn't even know who half the players were, to be honest. with you.
Cole Palmer, he's good. Like, these are like youth prospects, but it's against a full strength Chelsea side, and they didn't really struggle.
Gomez. Who's Gomez?
He's
I
like
don't even know who
they
that
bought
is.
him to be like, was it Cancelo's replacement or Zinchenko's replacement? So just be like a second
Rico
choice.
Lewis.
Rico Lewis
Alvarez.
is decent, yeah.
Calvin Phillips actually started his first game in
He
the
almost
season.
scored as well. That's the thing. City are the only team in the whole league that can do this. They can just be like, you know what? On the bench, Haaland, De Bruyne, Gundogan, Grealish, Rodri, Silva. Like, how can any teams like bench players like that and win comfortably at home? Like, I don't know, man. It's just not fair.
I thought Carsten would have been on the bench for City instead of Ortega. I didn't think Ortega would have.
They play Ortega a fair bit, to be fair. They play him in cup games and things like that.
Yeah, and I think Erling Haaland is going to win the Ballon d'Or. He's gonna probably win Champions League. If he wins the Champions League and the FA Cup and the Premier League, he has to win on the Ballon d'Or, and if not, it'd be the biggest robbery ever.
He's got 50 plus goals already. Like, it's
and it would make it the greatest season from a player ever in the Premier League.
Oh, so you think it's the best?
Ronaldo played right wing that season.
Okay, right wing. That's so times have changed, man.
Sorry, you can't compare them. Sorry, one's a winger, one's a striker.
No, we're talking about who's had the best
banging.
season. I'm not talking about who. Oh wait, it's the same argument.
Anyways, yeah, I think you've got to. I can't even think of anybody who I'd pick over Haaland for best season.
No, I'd say that Ronaldo season.
Henri, when he had those double-digit assists, or is it 2020?
2020, yeah. But didn't De Bruyne do that as well? 2020.
No, Bruyne never scored 20 goals.
Oh no, he got 20 assists. Yeah, yeah. You know that Henri season's up there for me as well. To be fair, Henri was unreal. You know the fact that people speak about him amongst certain players nowadays. I remember someone.
Alexander Isak.
You know what? I will never forget this. When Nketiah scored the winner against us, their fans were like, "Oh, number 14 scoring against United, he's destined for greatness." 5 league goals. Don't even need my other hand to count. It's their striker.
And his last goal was against United, the brace, which is like 11 games ago.
Exactly, nothing. He's rubbish, man. He's absolutely rubbish. All right.
I remember when Arsenal fans were saying that Pepe was better than Henry, and that they'd rather have Pepe than Henry in the team.
This is the thing, Arsenal fans. You make it so hard for us to root for you. We all should have been rooting for you this season, realistically. But we weren't.
Yeah, like we should have been rooting against the tyrants that are Man City, but because your fan base are just so annoying and so deluded, like we now hate you. We hate you more than City, easily.
Yeah. So that brings me on to my story. I put it in the group. Obviously, you know Max, right? He supports Arsenal. He messaged me and he was like, "How can you be so happy?" Because like Forest won, they stayed up. So I was in the pub with the Forest fans. They were happy. I was like, "Oh, perfect day." Because for me, United won, Liverpool dropped points, and Forest won, which is nice. I wasn't even thinking because in my head, City have already won the league. And then he was like, "Oh, fake fan."
Fake fan of what?
When's the last time he went to the stadium? I've actually name dropped him as well, so I'm gonna have to censor him.
Fake fan of what? What are you a fake fan of?
United, and I got a City fan as well, being like, "How are you not annoyed? We just won the title." I was like,
"Mate, I hate so many teams. Like, it doesn't make me a fake fan."
No, I was like, I don't care. I was like, why should I care? United won. We're one step closer to top 4. I don't understand why certain fans care about this kind of thing. Like, if I won the league, I'm happy. I'm not like, "Hey Ben, why aren't you mad that we won the league? Why aren't you mad? Be mad."
Yeah. I suppose maybe it's the idea that City have sort of cheated their way to victory. Maybe
it is, but
115 charges.
115.
But it's been reduced, right? It's been reduced to just like 3 or 4.
No, it's like 115. They're slowing it down in the courts.
It's
innocence.
They want us to be more mad because they've done a 3-peat, which is only United have done. By the way, we did it twice, so you've got to do it again. And they want us to be mad. And realistically, if you look at how Ferguson did it, he built a team, he used youth academy products, and he bought players in. City have just bought it. And this whole Pep versus Ferguson debate.
You don't think that if Pep wins the treble, he will have the best season for a Premier League manager ever?
No, I don't think so. I don't, because of the circumstances, right? I don't think so. It doesn't discount how hard it is to do, how rare it is, how good of a manager he is, but I just think, you're asking a United fan, I'm going to say the way Ferguson did it was harder. And also, he missed important players in each of the important games. In the Champions League final, Roy Keane wasn't there. In the FA Cup final, we did rest some players, but he still had Sheringham and Scholes playing. Scholes as well was missing the Champions League final.
The way that City team is built is that if there are injuries, the second team can fill in.
That's what I mean, right? The circumstances. The team has, whether fair or not...
That's due to the manager.
No, it's due to the transfer budget and how the market is today. Like, back then, you'd never see teams doing like a transfer window like City. Like, oh yeah, we bought 4 players, 50 million each. No, you'd have 1.
And the competition is not the same either.
It's not, exactly. It's not competitive anymore.
Like who was United playing in '99 to win the treble compared to City?
Yeah, Arsenal in the league.
What's the hardest team City has faced this season? Probably Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Or Bayern.
Yeah.
No, Real Madrid.
2 teams.
I'd say Real Madrid.
But then again, Johan, Hussein and Josh were saying that Real Madrid were going to go on to win the Champions League. Last year they were saying they were the best team in the world. So
they weren't the best team in the world last season. They won the Champions League.
I said that City will probably go through, but Real Madrid off aura, I hope will go through, and they didn't. The aura has run out. They need to get Bellingham in and start rebuilding.
I can't believe Bellingham's going to go to La Liga, honestly.
It's fair enough. It's fair enough.
I know that it's like, it might sound to like non-Premier League fans that the Premier League fan wants him to come to the Premier League, and if he goes anywhere else, then it's stupid. But I just think, like, it's so crazy to me that you're not going to come to England, where you're like from, to play for like one of the biggest clubs in the world and compete in the Champions League. Whereas you'll go to Spain and play in a really like non-competitive league every year, and then just show up a few times for the Champions League. I don't know why you do that.
I mean, he's just taking a different path. I think he's just trying to pave a new way, because there's a lot of English youngsters overseas. Like in Italy, there's a couple. In Germany, there's a few. Maybe he's just trying to forge a new path. Because I mean, to be honest, the easiest thing he could do right now is go to City. That's the easiest thing, and probably, I think City gave him more money than Real Madrid did. So
if he went to Liverpool, I'd respect him so much, but
nah, the thing is, Liverpool wouldn't offer him enough. Like, what are they going to say? Oh, Europa League, we can't pay you as much as Real Madrid and City. At Real Madrid and City, it's Champions League every year, without a doubt. We're going to be signing the best players in the world. You're going to be playing with the best week in, week out. And that's the facts of it. That's what you want to do as a young player. If someone's like, oh, you can play with Benzema and Vinicius, or you can play with Darwin Nunez and Thiago sometimes. Like,
yeah,
it's a difference.
Yeah, I guess so. But then again, for me, it's just like that. Like, to me, just shows like what's important, like the actual playing of the game, or just the idea that you will get a trophy. Because like Real Madrid are probably gonna compete for the Champions League again next year, like, but their league means nothing. Like, it's a bummy league, It's not even. It's just Barcelona or Real Madrid.
Well, to be
Sometimes
fair, let's go there. They're third this year, Real Madrid. So
yeah, but I don't know. I just think that, like, obviously with the way the Premier League's been this year and how it's shaping up to be next year, especially next year, like, next year is going to be so good, I think. Like, it's just weird to me that he wouldn't come. Even so, like, if he fits straight into that City side, right, you would have to say that he goes straight into the starting 11. Or at least he'd
replace Gundogan, because Gundogan, I don't know if he's staying or not, but he's getting on a bit. 32.
But then again, like, Bundesliga tax.
Can you imagine that? You know what? Maybe he just wants to see, but I think.
Bro, okay, did you see that Sancho thing I sent earlier?
What? Him? Was it a video of him?
No. So in the Bundesliga, in 137 games, he had 50 goals and 64 assists.
This is the issue.
And then he came to the Premier League, 75 games, 11 goals and 5 assists.
This is the issue, man.
75 games.
Werner put up bad numbers before he went to Chelsea. Havertz put not mad but really good numbers, and that's why Chelsea have signed Nkunku, and they're oh, don't worry, he's coming. Have they not learned?
Yeah.
Have they not learned?
Yeah.
And they're all like, oh, it's different this time. Bro, you sound like a girlfriend who's with an abusive boyfriend. It's different this time.
No, he won't beat me this time, I promise.
Use your head. You've done it so many times, and you've seen us do it with Sancho. Why are you doing the same thing again?
This is what I'm wondering. But the thing is, he's going to La Liga, and that's a different transition from going to Bundesliga.
I think he'll be fine. Can you imagine? It's like La Liga. You're gonna win most games. Just prepare for like 4 or 5 games a season in the Champions League.
That's literally what I picture it to be like.
Yeah, that's how Real Madrid approach it. That's why they're better than what the table shows for La Liga. They just aren't asked, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. That's pretty much... Oh, Johan's gone.
I'm back.
Oh, he's
I'm back now.
Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much everything for this week. Yeah. New format of the podcast. Hope you guys like that. More conversational and all that. Can change it up. Don't have to focus on Serie A. Oh yeah, do we even need to talk about the Champions League? AC Milan got knocked out. AC Milan got knocked out.
Good.
Shame.
Jalad. So happy.
And what's it called?
Shit club, shit fan.
And City, they're winning that final, right? Does anyone here think they're not beating Inter Milan? Johan?
If Milan beats City, I'll go skin bald again.
Wait, Johan, you think Inter win?
Yes.
Like,
why do you think?
Oh, pure
okay,
hope.
okay.
Yeah, okay.
That's fair. That's
too.
fair.
Me
If
too.
you're saying that, then fair
I
enough.
genuinely believe in Inter Milan more than my own team to beat Man City. I think we're going to lose that final 3-0. And it's not even going to be, like,
Yeah.
close. I don't even want to watch that game. I'm going to go to the pub when it opens and start drinking from, like, 9 a.m. because I can't cope with that game.
I've got no faith in Inter Milan. They're going to get smoked.
They've got a striker
Inter
at least.
Milan's
They've got Lukaku.
Checo.
Nah, Martinez.
Yeah.
Lautaro Martinez is their striker. We'll see what happens anyway. So I think City are going to win the treble. Ben thinks. Johan, do you think they'll win the treble?
No.
You think they lose the Champions League?
This is
Yeah.
Chad.
And the FA Cup. No.
You think they lose the FA Cup as well?
Yeah.
Oh no.
You sure? Really? Any reasons?
100%.
Any reasons?
100%.
Just on a prayer.
Just on a prayer. Fair enough. You
Bro, I
gotta
don't
respect
even
it.
think God can help me if I pray to him. But thanks for coming on, guys. Unlike Charlie.
God cannot stop Haaland.
Charlie's a bum. Alright, he's not here.
Fuck Charlie.
Everyone
Right?
that knows Charlie, send him a message saying, "Hey, you're fat." Alright, everyone do that.
Fat.
Just insert his phone number as well, maybe in the video.
Yeah, you know what? Here's his phone number. Here's his social security number. Here's his home address.
Here's his mum's name.
Here's his mum's name. His dad's name. All right. Thanks for coming, guys. Thanks for listening, everyone. Like, subscribe, follow, comment, all that good stuff. And we'll catch you next week. And the season will be done in a bit. Peace.